So hello everyone, I'm Julian Jacques and I'm here with Frank Sweeney from the Real World San Diego.
What's going on?
So episode 10 starts with you and Todd talking. What made you want to start hanging out with Todd again?
I mean, I don't know. I wasn't trying to be rude and make it a one-night kind of thing, and he's a nice enough kid, and, well, to be honest, the sex was really good, so I keep him around for that. He lived close in San Diego, and it was an easy booty call, and that's pretty much it. There's nothing more to that than my penis talking.
Did you feel Ashley was being rude while you and Todd were in the shower?
Well, if you actually take a look at that, we were not doing anything in the shower. We were literally just showering off. And just rinsing off at that because we had just gotten out of the pool. So nothing was going on. And, Ashley had seen me and other dudes in the shower, me and other girls in the shower before that, but she was not talking to us, not looking at us. I mean, yeah, of course, she was super rude to Todd the whole morning.
What's the difference between Sam and Sean Jade?
Honestly, I don't know. The beard, I don't know, because Sam always looks like a boy. Sam's always in drag, so I don't know what the difference is.
So in episode 10, you arrive at the gym and Zach and Ashley are working out. How awkward was that walking in with all the tension that was going on?
I mean, I was at the gym with them like 4 days out of the week, and that's why I was so frustrated when they left because it was just like they had always done that. So like walking in on them was no different than any other day. It was just because there was always some sort of weird tension between Zach and Ashley and I because none of us ever talked as much as I tried to get us to talk. So I was just walking in, looking for some sort of conversation with Ashley. And the reason I go to Ashley is because I have a little bit more respect for her. Like, I expect more out of her because sometimes you just get a feeling about people, and I just kind of knew that there was more to her than she was bringing to the table. And I think it was evident by Nate's comments, Priscilla's comments, Sam, Alex's comments throughout the episodes, too, that we all expect a little bit more out of Ashley. So I went to her first because, Zach's a stone-faced idiot. You're not going to get much out of him, but Ashley I want a little more out of, so that's why I go to her.
So you would say that the roommates were attached to Michael?
Yeah, I think so. I think that some genuinely, some ingenuinely, but I think that people took to him, yeah. I mean, he's a nice guy, so it was easy to like him.
Are you afraid of Zach?
Not even a little bit. I would love to come to a physical altercation. I mean, here's the thing. Zach has only 3 inches on me. Everybody acts like he's so big. He's 6'3", I'm 6 foot. And also, I'm a scrappy little mofo. So I would love for it to come to physical blows. But I think I was on thin ice already. So if I had started any sort of physical altercation, I would have been out of the house immediately, like no questions asked, and I wasn't about to do that. I think Zach is, I don't know what his thing is. I think he's afraid. He keeps saying how much he wants to kick the shit out of me. I think he should.
So you don't really know Ashley. I don't know her either, but you're willing to open up to her. Do you feel like she just didn't want to be there and didn't care? Like, did she even open up to anyone that wasn't Zach?
No, I think that she took her time, put it 100% into Zach, and just gave the middle finger to everybody else. Mm-hmm. I don't know why her and Zach, either of them, I don't know why either of them came to the house. I don't understand it. And, they put so much emphasis on me, like, quote, obsessing over the two of them. I didn't obsess over them. I just asked them to partake in our activities and have fun. Interviews focused on that heavily because there wasn't a lot much else going on. So it looks like there's just like this huge battle between Zach and Ashley. But when they weren't even around, I wasn't thinking about them because they weren't worth my time. They were so into each other and so out of focus for the group that I was just like, screw these people. It's you guys missing out, not me.
Were you excited to go camping?
Oh yeah, I love camping. I lived in a rainforest for like 2 weeks when I lived in Peru, and it was awesome. And I was like, all right, cool. And I go camping all the time, so I was super psyched.
So what were your expectations for your camping trip?
I thought that we were going to be roughing it a little more, but I thought it was going to go one of two ways. So I didn't know what campground we were going to. I forgot who set it up. I think it was Sam set it up. So I was just like, I didn't know which camping ground we were going to go to or what it was going to be like. So I was like, oh, my God, they're either going to put us in, like, an RV and Priscilla's going to get our pedicure done, or we're going to be, like, roughing it really hard. But it was good. It was middle ground. It was really, really nice. And I had never been to, like, a mountain like that in Southern California before. And it was so cool, like, looking at, like, burnt trees from, like, forest fires next to, like, all this green. It was, like, greens and blacks, and I'd never seen that before. It was amazing. And all I really wanted was for everybody to have fun together and, like, have, like, dinner around the campfire, go for hikes together, things like that, and I was psyched about it, but, it doesn't always happen that way.
So you all go hiking and Zach and Ashley leave you behind. Do you think they did that purposely?
Sure, of course they did. I think that they thought that they were showing the producers that they could, like, win the challenge or something stupid by doing that. Listen, hiking up a mountain faster than Priscilla and Sam does not say you're going to win a challenge. I mean, that's why we hung out in the back. Sam smokes like 15,000 cigarettes a day and can't really hike up a mountain. So the rest of us stayed back with our friend and hiked up the mountain with her. And they took off because, one, they don't care about us, and two, they had to prove their athletic prowess by running up a mountain.
All right, so I just got a really, really good Twitter question, and it's from Charles Gabby. How do you refrain from hitting Zach or throwing something at Ashley's head? I would have attacked.
Well, like I said, I was on really thin ice with anything physical because technically I should have been kicked out of the house when I pushed Nate in the beginning. And I was on really thin ice the entire season with rules and things like that, and so I had to watch what I did. But believe me, it's not easy. And also, you know, I was trying to act a little bit like the bigger person in this and talk to them logically as best I could and not make it about fighting. But believe me, the blood was boiling, and I would have loved to. I just, with rules and trying to, like, approach it from a different angle, I was trying my best to keep it away from anything physical.
Even when all of you got to the top of the mountain, they still separated themselves. Did anyone say anything to them?
Honestly, watching that back, I didn't even know it was that separated because, like I said before, when I wasn't with them, I didn't give a fuck. So I was just like, let them do their thing and let us do our thing. We were having such a good time. We were, like, messing around with my camera, just, like, taking it in. The view was, like, all the way from Tijuana up to, like, Camp Pendleton, like, where the military, and so we had this incredible view, and we were just, like, taking pictures and having fun. They weren't even in my, like, periph. I didn't care. You know, I didn't even notice they weren't there. Let them go peck each other on the mouth a few more other times.
At this point, who are you most closest to in the house?
Yeah, I was always really close with Nate and Alex. And you know, they don't show, Alex even moved into mine and Nate's room. So the three of us would have, like, combos every night, and we called it her little dog bed because she slept on the floor between our beds. It was really cute, and I was always really close with Nate and Alex. Nate was probably my best friend in the house at the time. And what was frustrating to me was that he just never, ever stood up to Zach. And he only did it when he was drunk, would say something to Ashley. Nate's way of defending me was by berating Ashley. And it was just, like, weird and backwards. And the root of the problem is not her. Of course, we expect more out of her and want her personality. But the root of the problem is the cowboy. And he'll never stand up to him. If you're asking if anybody's afraid of Zach, it's Nate.
You, Nate, Sam, and Sam's friend Skyler get some drinks before you go to Sam's show. Was that a smart thing to do?
I mean, Sam said she wants to always drink before. I was fine. You saw me. I had, like, the thing is they always say that I'm drunk. But after the first few weeks, I really toned down my drinking. Of course, I got hammered some nights, but, like, even in last week's episode where I was dancing on Ashley and things like that, I wasn't drunk. So I'm getting really sick of hearing, like, oh, my God, Frank's always boozing. Because just because I'm at the bar doesn't mean I'm hammered. That pisses me off. When I hooked up with Todd the first time I was sober, I mean, I don't know if this is an excuse or anything. It might even make me look worse. Maybe I should have been drunk. When I danced on Ashley, I was sober. Getting really sick of the whole Frank's the boozy one. Because let's be honest, who's the boozer in the house? It's Nate.
Do you think Zach felt comfortable going to Sam's show?
I don't know. Again, didn't really talk to him about it. Don't really care. I think that, you know, this was something for a roommate, and that if he didn't go, it would have been a lot of shit would have gone down because Sam was really, really excited. She'd been talking about it for weeks. So I think that maybe he bucked up and did it. Or you know what? I think that for him, lesbians are fine. I think that it's total, like, the whole lesbian thing is totally great. It's just when it comes to gay dudes that he gets afraid and maybe a boner.
So Zach says he wants to beat the crap out of you. Did he ever tell you that to your face?
No. Anything that you see that Zach says in confessionals, he never said aloud. So the difference between Zach, Ashley, and I is that those things that you see that they're saying, they said behind closed doors, and they keep saying I talk so much shit, but they knew exactly where they stood with me. And I said everything in their face, as you can see in the episode. So saying that I talk shit is absolute bullshit because everything that I say, they could come up and ask me, and they would know, or I'll just tell them. I didn't have anything to hide. And all these things that I see in the confessional, I mean, sure, we hashed some stuff out at the reunion last week, but when I rewatch this and see what they say, it's really digging and really stupid and really hurtful.
What did you think of Sean G's performance?
I thought Sam killed it. I think Nate nailed it on the head when he said she killed it because she was dancing, collecting money. It was really fun. It was really, really fun. And they made that night look like it was about, you know, an argument, but when we got there, we all bucked up and we're all adults, and we made it about Sam, and we had a really great time.
So you're walking to the gym, and Zach and Ashley stop you to talk to you. Obviously,
right.
The problem is between you and Ashley, and Zach jumps into it. how frustrated were you that every time you tried to speak to Ashley, Zach always would jump into it?
And it's vice versa too. It's every time you try to talk to Zach, Ashley jumps in. Every time you try to talk to Ashley, Zach jumps in. It's really frustrating because they keep saying, address us as a different problem. We're different people. But then let me address you as a separate problem. You know, like they don't let me address them as individuals. They make me address them as an entity, and they complain about it. There's complaints by Ashley in Mexico. There's complaints before. It's like I would love to make it about you two separately, but you're not allowing me to, and it's really frustrating because Ashley speaks for Zach. Ashley tries to cover up Zach's ass, and Zach tries to cover up Ashley's ass. It's like, why are we even playing cover up? It's stupid. You're here to be real, and you're here to be yourselves. You're not here to be a two-headed monster.
So Nate was kind of in the middle of the friendship. Did that really make an impact on how you viewed Nate at all? Or
I think Nate was trying to play Switzerland, but the difference between Nate and Switzerland is that Nate would go and talk to Zach about it or go and talk to me about it and not tell each other what the deal is. And one really important conversation that they don't show is I told Nate, I was like, you know what, go hang out with Zach. Go do your thing with Zach because I know I'm a better person than Zach and a better friend to you than Zach is. And if you really want that, go ahead. I know you'll come crawling back. And I said that to today. I mean, it keeps getting brought up between Nate and I personally, not necessarily on camera, because Nate still today is supposedly one of my best friends, but I never see any support from him. Mm-hmm. So I continue to bring it up, and I'm like, go ahead, go hang out with Zach. I'm not mad that they're friends. I'm glad that I want people to have as many friends as they want. But if he's going to not defend me, that's when it comes down to being a problem, you know? Mm-hmm. So I say, go ahead, go hang out with him. Go defend him. Don't defend me, and you'll see what happens. They don't have anybody's backs except for themselves, so it'll bite them in the ass in the long run.
Why do you think Priscilla cried when Alexandra performed Hotel?
Well, if you listen to the words of Hotel, they're super personal and, very, very much about our experience. And I think it was really sobering for all of us to hear that. And Alex really, really killed it with those lyrics and the whole song and her show, really. It was beautiful. And, I don't know, I was really taken aback by it as well. And I think Priscilla's really emotional. She's very emotional. We don't really get to see it because she's not on camera that much, but she's a really emotional chick. And so hearing that and, being with us and having we had 2 weeks left at that point, it was really sinking in that we were leaving, that this experience was coming to a close. And, hearing those words, they really, resonated with a bunch of us.
In episode 11, you and your roommates go to Mexico for a little vacation. Were you happy to be going on vacation while on vacation?
Mm-hmm. Oh, my God, it was so much fun, though. It was incredible. It was one of the best vacations I've ever had in my life, if not the best.
All the roommates went swimming, and, of course, Zach and Ashley separated themselves. And you all went swimming in the ocean, and, again, they separated themselves. Do you think they were just being selfish while they were in Mexico?
Listen, I know they say that they're in love and things like that, and that they're taking away from it. But if you really love somebody, don't you want to share that person with your friends? I mean, I don't have much experience with this, but I have two examples. One, when Michael and I were together, we always hung out with other people as well. Mm-hmm. Of course we did our own thing, but there's not exclusively Frank and Michael like there is Zach and Ashley. Mm-hmm. And two is that before this whole experience, I lived with a couple that was together for 6 years, for 2 years in a row. And they were both my best friends, and it worked totally fine. When you're a couple, you don't have to close yourself off. Even here in L.A., I can hang out with Byron and Alex. It's not like they've closed themselves off to the rest of the world. So I don't think that that's a fair justification.
So do you and Alex see each other all the time now?
Yeah, Alex basically lives on my couch. I have a big red couch, and Alex basically lives on it. Last night we got drunk and ate Chick-fil-A and fell asleep on my couch.
I honestly did not believe that Alexandra didn't, that she drank. You know what I mean? I just thought that she was so pure, and, I mean, she is, sort of, but, I mean, I didn't know she drank. See, here's the thing, is that now she's hanging out with me, and I'm bringing the crazy out of her. Mm-hmm. So I'm getting a little more of a crazy Alex every day, and I love it. She's super fun. And, she was also really fun on the show. They just don't show it because everybody's kind of put into a mold, and they only show that one side of us. But Alex is so much fun, and now that I'm pulling the crazy out of her, it's awesome. I remember Alexandra back when she was Andra. Yep, I knew her since then. So it's kind of cool to see her go from music to reality TV, then back to music, you know what I mean? She was just so open and so honest and so blunt, and I don't think anyone else could have been put in her position. I absolutely love Alex, and she's so, I can't even explain to you. She's so, her songs are just, they just touch all my heart. They basically speak my life away.
Oh, no, Alex is an amazing songwriter, and she deserves a deal. So if anyone's listening, let's get Alex a deal.
Yep.
Because she needs to get one.
At any point at all, did you feel like you wanted to go home?
Absolutely, like 7,000 times. Of course. I mean, I thought, like, that would be the easy way out. And by home, I meant, not even necessarily my parents. It was just like, I want to get out of this house. One thing that happened while I was on the show was that I sort of became the speaker box for 4 other people because I was living with 4 people who were like, I don't think they were intimidated by Zach and Ashley by any means. Well, Nate was. But I think that they just were, like, non-confrontational and wanted to avoid the situation, but we're really upset. Frank, can you say something? And another thing they don't show is that they were asking me to say these things. It wasn't like it was just all in my head and it's Frank v. Zach and Ashley. It was definitely 5v2. And I was the speaker box for everybody because they asked me to be. And so, I don't know. It got frustrating to be in that role all the time and to, like, have to, like, almost be the ringleader. I didn't want that. I didn't want that role. And I hated having to always be the one who made any sort of confrontation with the two of them. But I don't know. I mean, I did it for them because I do love those people to today too. So I don't know. I'm still holding out that Ashley and I could be friends one day. I think she has a lot of explaining to do, and I would love to have like a really, really, really long dinner with her where we hashed everything out. But until then, I don't know. Zach and I. Not sure.
So Priscilla goes crazy in Mexico. Do you think it was probably the best week she spent with all of you guys?
Oh, absolutely, because she could finally, like, really be a part of the group. It really solidified her as, like, she could come out, she could booze, she could have fun. It was awesome. She was making out with everybody, a little make-out Mexican.
While you guys were in Mexico, did anyone get homesick?
I don't think so. We were there for a really short while, so it was, like, actually the perfect number of days. We were only there for 5 days, or 5 or 6 days. And it was, like, the perfect amount of time because we only had actually 4 days when we got back from Mexico in the house, which is nutso. But it was, like, we got a bunch of activities done. We got, like, a perfect amount of sun. Priscilla got the perfect amount of puking in. And so we were good. And then we headed back to San Diego for our last 4 days.
It's funny how Bean and Murray does this season. You guys actually got done filming this season 3 weeks before the actual premiere date. I don't think some people understand because I remember like last night I was live tweeting and people were asking like I don't understand why they're like Frank and Zach still don't like each other if obviously they've been recorded this season. But no, it's not that. It's just this season like I said you guys recorded the season and 3 weeks later. I mean there were promos while you guys were still filming and it premiered, and then you guys automatically got right to after shows. So you guys, 3 weeks later, got to already see what everyone else was saying about you. So obviously the views and thoughts of everyone was just the same, and nothing changed at all. And you guys really didn't get a chance yet to break from each other. But I think what will happen is now that it's going to be over, and everyone's going to regret a lot of things. And I feel like the Zach that we've seen will eventually change, and one day you will get a phone call, because he's.
I don't think that Zach's going to be the one to give that phone call. I think that'll come from Ashley. I think you really are I think you're miscalculating exactly how stubborn Zach is because he really is. But I think, what people need to understand is that like our season literally just ended last Sunday with the reunion, because as much as we weren't living in the same house for whatever 2 months since we wrapped, we still were like always on top of each other with like having to do promotions and doing after shows, doing the reunion, and they should have shown and all that stuff. And so every time we saw each other, new wounds were opened up. So we might have not been in the same house, but it was still going, so anything that you see is, it's all relevant. It's all super new. And finally now we have a little bit of time to separate. And like you said, hopefully sometime soon we'll all start making some phone calls and hashing things out and things like that.
So all the roommates are at dinner, and Sam asks Zach, why is it that whenever any of the roommates talk about gay people in the military, he always seems to have some type of negative reaction? Pretty much after that, you asked him if he thought it was okay for gay people to be in the military, and he said no. Do you think Zach is maybe anti-gay?
I mean, yeah, absolutely. I think he definitely is. I think that there is, there's so much beating around the bush here. There's never a solid answer, and there's so many inconsistencies as to whether he feels this way or feels that way. And I think if Zach actually just spoke and wasn't such a like idiot and so like so closed off and didn't just stare at you like he was I don't even know what that is. It's a 1,000-yard stare. But if you just if he just actually spoke. Either way, it would be so much more clear and none of us would care. Honestly, if Zach is afraid of gay people, that's fine. I know some people are. I get it. It's not my position to make you okay with it. I understand that. And I think I come under a lot of flack for pushing something on him. What I would like to be known is that I could care less how he feels. I would just love to know how he feels, period. He never spoke. And there's so many back and forths and yes and no's and da-da-da-da-da, and it's just like, can you just be consistent for once and give me an answer?
So on December 7th, I watched you and Alexandra on AfterBuzz TV, and Michael was there as well. You two
that
got
was a
into...
surprise. That was my second Michael surprise, by the way. I had no idea going into that. My friend Jesse J did not let me know before I went in that he would be there, so that was nice of him. Jesse, I could kill you.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That's very awkward.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you two get into a little argument. Why is it that you two don't get along anymore?
I think Michael and I would benefit from a conversation, but I think it's a little too fresh to do that right now. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of rumors circulating, right, that come from, people who would know these sorts of things. It's not just like hearsay from like Priscilla or something like that. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of rumors circulating about Michael having auditions for The Real World, him wanting to be on TV, like him being looking for his acting career, him promoting himself as the Real World cast member now. Just some shady things that would make anything that we did on the show very ingenuine, and it's just frustrating because I don't know. I believed him, and to hear these rumors going around is really hurtful, and it's also annoying too. I mean, I don't know. It wasn't a show about 8 people. It was a show about 7 people, and I'm fortunate that at the time he was right for me, at the time. But I don't know. It's just frustrating.
So do you think he used you for fame?
I don't know. I'm honestly weirded out. I had thought so because that's what I had heard for a while there. But he is deny. I don't know who to believe. It's the same thing with Zach and Ashley. Who knows who to believe anymore? I really don't. I'm so confused as to who's putting on an act, who's not, and that's the shitty part about TV. I think will reveal itself over time.
Do you regret anything from the 3 months you spent in San Diego?
Oh, no. Actually, you know what? No, I do regret one thing, and it was trying so hard with Zach and Ash, because if they didn't want it, they didn't want it, and I should have just realized it then, but I don't know. I wanted everybody to get along, and if that makes me look so bad, then it makes me look bad, but that's all I really wanted, and I don't know. That's all it really was.
What do you plan to do once the Real World stops airing?
Well, I'm applying to law school right now, and I am, applying for internships for the spring, just kind of studying. I'm bartending, just getting my life back in order. I'm also starting writing. I don't know if you've seen my blog or anything like that.
I have. Yes, I have.
Yeah, so I'm just starting to write, and hopefully that'll take off soon. I don't know. I have some people who contacted me for advertising, so I don't know. Just kind of entrepreneuring. I think Alex and I might even try to get back involved with production and do something here in LA. So we'll see.
So what's your blog address?
It's franksweeney.blogspot.com.
All right, well, that's all I have. Thanks for recording this with me, Frank. Adios until next time.
See y'all later.